Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. And I wanted to get into the topic, all right, of the allegory of eternal fire. Okay. And when you look here, I have the word allegory pulled up. All right. It says a story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning. All right. Typically a moral or political one. All right. And there are many allegories in the Holy Scriptures. All right. That are meant to be stumbling blocks. All right. To the wicked. All right. Not only to the wicked, of our people, but to Esau, Edom, and these heathen as well, because everybody has the Bible in their hands. All right. But the true understanding is only revealed unto his servants, the prophets. So there's many allegories in the Holy Scriptures which are meant to keep people out. All right. For example, when you go to the book of Galatians, the 4th chapter, okay, Paul uses Abraham's concubine, Hagar, okay, the bondwoman, okay, to symbolize the bondage of the first covenant, okay, and he uses Abraham's free wife, okay, because Hagar was his concubine, all right, that's the bondwoman. A concubine is usually, a wife, all right, taken through bondage, and ultimately Sarah, all right, which was Abraham's free wife, represented the freedom, all right, that comes under Yahweh Shai's grace, all right, that enters us into the new covenant. Okay, so you can read Galatians, the 4th chapter, and clearly it gives you, the illustration of the two covenants using Sarah, all right, and Hagar. All right. Now we're not gonna get into that, but what we will do is get the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter, okay, where it talks about the parables. All right. This is Matthew 13. All right. And 10. Okay. And the disciples came and said unto Yahweh Shai, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Okay. And let's look up the word parables. Okay, parables, parable, okay, a placing of one thing by the side of another, all right, juxtaposition, as of ships in battle, metaphorically, a comparison of one thing with another, likeness, similitudes, an example by which a doctrine or precept is illustrated, okay, so a narrative fictitious but agreeable to the laws and usages of human life. All right, so it may not literally apply, but it's used as a symbol, okay, to explain something. All right, and that's what we're going to get into, the allegory, all right, of eternal damnation. All right, as we know, even the heathen nations won't burn literally forever. Okay, but you have this doctrine that has presented itself in Israel, all right, where there's an eternal fire and eternal damnation for Israelites, even those Israelite men who don't, all right, marry their wives legally through the state of Babylon. Okay, if you don't keep your rod in your pants, they say, and you go and have sex with a woman and not marry her in the sense of go and put a, get on your knee and put a ring on it and get a marriage certificate according to Babylon, then you will be in danger of hellfire forever. And that's what IUIC is teaching. All right. You have other camps coming up with this garbage, which as it's being brought out, that's a pagan aspect that none of our forefathers warned us of. All right. When you go into the curses, none of the results of disobedience were burning forever. All right. Now, the Lord did put hell on us, all right, as we'll get into in a sense of putting us into captivity. Okay, but nowhere in the scriptures does it prescribe, all right, a actual literal burning forever and ever and ever and ever. But when you go into the scriptures, all right, an eternal fire is used as an allegory to the judgment to come. Okay, so let's finish this real quick. So why do you speak to them in parables and allegories? All right, Yahweh Shai answered and said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto them it is not given. All right, and you can keep reading. So pretty much he speaks in parables to keep the undesirables out. As a matter of fact, let's just keep reading. For whosoever hath, it shall be given, and he shall have more abundant. But whosoever hath not, and those are chosen from the foundation of the earth, who are going to be the desirable ones to preach and teach the right message, those who will accept it. Then you're going to have those who ultimately can't accept it. All right. Or they may accept it for a time and then eventually bug out. Okay. The undesirables, the 2/3, which are ultimately a group of Israelites slated for destruction. Okay. To be used within the story to come up against the prophets. Okay. To come up against Yahweh Shai. Okay, to be wicked and evil, all right, enemies according to the gospel. Okay, so whosoever hath not, it shall be taken away, even that he hath. All right, but because you have particular men who come into the understanding, but all right, through tribulation, rebuke, or whatever it may be, they fall out, or because something comes up that they can't understand. Okay, so what happens is they bug out and lose the oil. Okay, it says, therefore I speak to them in parables, all right, because they seeing, seeing not, and hearing, hear not, neither do they understand. All right, again, we know according to prophecy, the eye to see and the ear to hear is given by Yahweh, all right, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's in the book of Proverbs. Okay, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which said, by hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and by seeing ye shall see and not perceive. For this people's mind is waxed gross, their ears are dull of hearing, for they have closed their eyes, lest any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their minds, and should be converted, and I should heal them. All right, so we know that ultimately, when the Most High returns, he's coming back to deliver those who are repentant, okay, who have converted. All right, but as we just read, there are particular souls who Yahweh Shai don't want to convert, and those souls are slated for a destruction. Let's get the book of Isaiah, the first chapter. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 1, and I'll get 22. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness, and the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. All right, and there is no way to escape that. The Lord is going to make sure all of those souls, when that fire come, are here on earth to receive that damnation. All right, as he told his detractors here in Matthew the 23rd chapter. Okay, Matthew the 23rd chapter. All right, he told them that ultimately these detractors, these wicked scribes and Pharisees, that they are the children of those who killed the prophets. Okay, Matthew 23:31. Wherefore you be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Reincarnation. All right, they came back in their lot to give him hell. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. All right, there's a wicked generation amongst our people. All right, and their judgment is going to be here on earth. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? All right, now when we look up this word hell, okay, there's an allegory being used here, all right, for the valley of Gehenna. This is what Yahweh Shai said, all right, Gehenna, all right, which is the valley of Hinnom, all right. It says, hell is a place of future judgment called Gehenna, Gehenna of fire. This was originally the valley of Hinnom, south of Jerusalem, where the filth of dead animals in the city were cast out and burned, a fit symbol of the wicked and their future destruction. So this is a symbol. This is an allegory being used here. Okay? And when you go to the scriptures, okay, Hinnom, as we get, let's just go to the example, Jeremiah 32 and 35, and they built the high places of Baal, which are in the valley of Hinnom, okay, to cause their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire of Molech, which I commanded them not, neither came I, and it came into my mind that they should do this abomination to cause Judah to sin. So the valley of Hinnom, all right, is a place where wicked sacrifices went on. As a matter of fact, I'll go here to the Bible dictionary. Give me 1 second here. And we'll just type in Hinnom, see what comes up. Hinnom. Boom. Hinnom, a deep, narrow ravine separating from Mount Zion, called the Hill of Evil. It took its name from some ancient hero, son of Hinnom. It's first mentioned in Joshua 15 and 8. It had been a place where the idolatrous Jews burned their children alive to Molech. All right. Now, did those children burn forever? No, they burned in that fire. Okay. It says a particular part of the valley was called Tophet, or fire stove, where children were burned after exile in order to show their abhorrence to the locality. The Jews made this valley a receptacle, all right, of the offal of the city, for the destruction of which the fire was, as it supposed, was kept constantly burning there. And there was always things burned there, trash, dead bodies and so forth. Okay. The Jews associated this valley, all right, these two ideas, that the sufferings of the victims that had been sacrificed, all right, and that of filth and corruption. It became thus a popular mind, to the popular mind of the Jews, which Yahweh Shai is a Jew, right? A symbol of the abode of the wicked hereafter. All right. It came to signify hell as the place of the wicked. All right. It might be shown by an infinite example. The Jews express hell, or the place damned, by this word. The word Gehenna in the Greek was never used in this time of Christ in any sense other than to denote a place of future punishment. So Yahweh Shai was talking about a place of future punishment. Now, what we're going to do is go to the example of Sodom and Gomorrah, and we're going to get a few other examples. Okay? Because, again, let's get Sirach 39 and 24. As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked. Okay, so a lot of Israelites are now stumbling over this concept of hell in the fourth quarter at the very end. And then they're telling you, if you don't keep your penis in your pants, okay, you're going to burn forever. Okay, if you don't have your fringes on, you're going to burn forever. These are the mindsets of these particular Israelite camps. All right. And you all wonder why we always have to say something. That is absolute madness. Okay. Do you understand the bondage that puts the believer in? Okay. You got this man walking around the planet Earth, and he's scared to have sex with a woman because if he doesn't put a ring on it and get a marriage license, he's going to hell. That's what the dude said. They got a video, be a man and marry that woman. Okay. And we know, according to our ancient customs, this world does not follow how marriage is supposed to be handled. Okay. The marriage that we know of this world was, when did, as a matter of fact, let's just look it up real quick. When did marriage certificates come into play? See if we can look it up. When did marriage certificates come into existence?
According to Wikipedia, some are available dating from the 17th century in colonial America. Marriage licenses have been required since 1639 in Massachusetts, with their use gradually expanding to...
Boom, that's all we need. It's not something the Most High requires, but they're using that to push a hell doctrine, amongst other things. Now, his ways are playing to the holy, but stumbling blocks into the wicked. So real quick, let's get this in Jude. Okay. Jude verse. Let's see. I know it's in here, but I don't feel like looking, so I'll just type this in. All right, so this is the book of Jude, verse 7, even as Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, and the cities about them in like manner giving themselves over to fornication, going after strange flesh, are set forth an example of suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Okay, eternal fire, all right? Now, we've been going into this, okay? We've been going into this, the suffering of eternal vengeance or eternal fire, right? Now, the word eternal, okay, we've showed you.
Strong's G 166, Ionios. Ionios.
Okay, without beginning and end, that which has always been and will be. All right, and when you look up what this is saying, okay, as we know, Sodom and Gomorrah isn't literally burning right now, but the memory of it, okay, and the acts that led to that fire, all right, are eternal, all right? And when you go to the root word, aeon, okay, it can mean also for a period of time, okay? But the memory, as we're getting ready to show you, is what's eternal. Now, let's get the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 10th chapter and the 6th verse in the GNT Bible, okay? It says, wisdom rescued a righteous man while ungodly people were dying. He escaped the flames that destroyed the 5 cities. You can still see the evidence of their wickedness. Okay, now, do you see the evidence of their wickedness by them burning right now? No, let's get an example of how you can go and see the evidence of their wickedness. In just a minute, it says, the land there is barren and smoking. The plants bear fruit that never ripen. And a pillar of salt stands as a monument of the one who did not believe. Okay? The people of those cities, okay? Now, what is a monument? Something to remember. Okay? The people of those cities ignored wisdom and could not tell right from wrong. Not only that, but the remains of their cities still remind us of the foolish way they lived, so their children, so that their failure can never be forgotten. See, their failure is not forgotten through, all right, the land being burned. Now, you can literally, as some scientists have found, give me one second. You know, an example right here, some scientists have found, you know, that site. And you have particular scientists who, you know, deny the Most High, that they ignore this. But let's just check this out, a little bit of it.
Is there of this burning sulfur that rained down? Well, it seems that the culprit are these sulfur balls that are also found in this area. The largest of these early bronze sites on the southeast side of the Dead Sea, this one locally is known as Babedra, and is the site that is associated with Sodom in the Bible. It was discovered as an early bronze site back in 1924. It was excavated in the 1960s and 1970s. And what archaeologists found here was this burn destruction that goes across this site. this city came to an end through a fire destruction. So here you can see this ashy burn destruction layer just underneath the surface. It's full of human bone fragments, burned pottery, and it's covering the entire site. Are around 500,000 people buried in this cemetery. And it's just staggering. And what's really intriguing then is that they found a burn destruction across the cemetery that happened at the same time that the city was destroyed. So the city...
Okay, so you can go look that up. We don't have to look too deep into that, but that's just an example, okay, of what's written here. Okay, let's get it again. All right, as what did it say in the book of Jude? All right, verse 7, it says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them, there were 5 cities in total, in like manner giving themselves over to fornication, going after strange flesh, are set forth an example of suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Now we know the people there are not literally burning. We know that the fire there is not literally burning. All right, but the memorial of it, the remembrance of what, the sins of those cities led to is something that we still talk about unto this day. All right. Just as when we get in the kingdom, the remembrance of Babylon and, the Edomites. All right. And as we'll show you, even the remembrance of the sins of those Israelites who came against the prophets and who did evil and wicked, but they will eventually receive mercy, as we'll show you in the Holy Scriptures. Going back here, Wisdom of Solomon 10:6, wisdom rescued a righteous man while ungodly people were dying. He escaped the flames that destroyed the 5 cities. You can still see the evidence of their wickedness. All right, the land there is barren and smoking. Okay, as we know, it's not still smoking, but what is still smoking? The remembrance of it. The remembrance of it has not been concealed. It has not been quenched. Okay, it's open to the public. It's open to the world. We have it as we go into the Holy Scriptures. Okay, and in a sense, it's burning and smoking in that, all right, sense. All right, because it's a memorial. As you can see here, the land is barren and smoking. The plants bear fruit that never ripen. The pillars of salt stands as a monument to the one who didn't believe, Lot's wife. All right, and an unbelieving soul is a remembrance. Okay, the Lot's wife is the remembrance of what's going to happen to an unbelieving soul, to those who look back. It's not that she's still, burning. All right. Or that pillar of her, salt, is just still standing there. But it's the remembrance of it that still stands. All right. And the act that led to, all right, the vengeance that came. The people of those cities ignore wisdom and could not tell right from wrong. Not only that, but the remains of their city still remind us of the foolish way they live. And that's why the Lord had it to where these particular scientists found that. Okay, but all we have to do is just go into the Holy Scriptures. All right, and the remembrance of it is brought up. All right, when we look at Babylon the Great, okay, we know that the sins that led to what destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, are the same sins that are going on here. So it's going to get the same judgment of fire. Okay, but it's not eternal fire. But wisdom rescued her servants. All right, it says, so that their failure can never be forgotten. See, that failure will never be forgotten. All right, now let's go. All right, back to what we read in the book of Matthew 23. All right, he told these wicked scribes and Pharisees that they're not going to escape the damnation of destruction, the damnation of hell, which we looked up that word hell. All right, and it was what? Gehenna. It was a symbol. Okay, and also as we go, let's go to Matthew 5:22. Okay, then we're going to go into some prophecy. This is Matthew 5:22. But I say unto you, whosoever is angry with his brother without cause shall be in danger of judgment. And whosoever shall say unto his brother, Ha, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Okay? And okay, that same word is hell. Okay, the hell fire. Okay, now let's type in the scriptures here, never quenched. Okay, all right, Mark 9:43, and if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. Does that mean to literally cut your hand off? No, it is better to enter into life maimed than to go having two hands going into hell, into the fire that shall never be quenched. Okay, a fire that shall never be quenched. So these are the scriptures that are used to push this doctrine of hell, a fire that shall never be quenched. Now, let's look up this word quenched. Okay, now, is the fire of Sodom and Gomorrah quenched in a literal sense? Yes, but figuratively, no, it's not. Okay, its remembrance still stands unto this very day. Okay, and that word quenched, okay, as asbestos, okay, unquenched, unquenchable, okay, of eternal hellfire to punish the damned, all right, which goes into those different gods that were eventually linked with the Bible. We know, according to the Bible, okay, there is no promise or prophecy of any Israelite or any heathen burning forever. Judgments are going to be played out here on the earth. Okay, let's see here. Give me one second. Here in the Strong's definition, it says asbestos from G1 as a negative particle and a derivative of G4570, not extinguished. All right, and the memory won't be extinguished. Okay, this word.
Strong's G 4570, sbenumi. Sbenumi.
Okay, extinguish, quench, a fire, things on fire, to be quenched, to go out, metaphorically, to quench or suppress. So it's not going to be suppressed. Okay, the remembrance of what happened, all right, to Babylon the Great, the remembrance of what happened, okay, to Sodom and Gomorrah, those things will stand forever. The remembrance of what happened to the wicked, that's going to stand. It's not going to be suppressed. The remembrance of what happened to the 2/3 is not going to be suppressed. Okay? And it's of divine influence. Okay? Now, let's go to the book of Isaiah, the 66th chapter. Okay? Because when is that fire going to come? We know that fire is going to come in the form of nuclear war and the return of the chariots. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66, and let's just get to the point. Isaiah 66, and I start at 14. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb, and the hand of Yahweh shall be known toward his servants, and indignation towards his enemies. Okay, because like it says, I believe earlier in this chapter, all right, the Most High is going to appear. Let's see here. Yep, Isaiah 66:5. Hear ye the word of the Lord, ye that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy. All right, and they shall be ashamed. They're going to be put to shame. See? Now, as you keep reading, it goes into the destruction that's coming. Okay? He's going to have indignation towards his enemies. So this is Isaiah 66:15. For behold, Yahweh will come with fire, and his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. All right, so the fire that's coming, we know is going to come via war and via the chariots of salvation. Okay? And again, that fire is coming to the earth. As a matter of fact, real quick, let's get the book of 2 Peter's, the 3rd chapter. Let's see here. Because it was the earth that the flood, the first death, it judged. It was the earth where those people were judged. Okay, 2 Peter's 3 and 7. But the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire. Okay, and the heavens, okay, are what? Esau's rulership. Okay, the heaven is symbolic of a rulership as well. That's why the scriptures talks about falling from heaven, which is another symbolism, another allegory. You don't literally fall out of the sky, but you fall from your rulership. Okay, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition of ungodly men. Okay? Again, verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay? The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Okay? The earth and the works that are therein, all right, shall be what? Burned up. Okay? And you're going to have Israelites that are going to be a part of this judgment, going back to Isaiah 66. Okay? And 15, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger and his fury with rebuke and flames of fire. For by fire and by his word, his sword, will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Okay, then it talks about those who sanctify and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination in the mouth shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. All right. And these are you wicked church-going Israelites. Okay, that fire is coming for you. That fire is also coming for the wicked leadership of the nation of Israel who rebelled against Yahweh Shai, his church. Okay, and we're going to show you in the kingdom, all right, they're going to bow to the leadership. They're going to be sunned. Okay, it's going to be in righteousness, though. It's not going to be as if they're going to be punished and, this forever. But, okay, their rank, okay, and their reverence for the true leadership of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua will be marked as a sign, all right, that will never be forgotten. Okay, and we'll show you all of these things in just a minute. But it says, the Lord is going to destroy you, you swine, okay, gumbo eating niggas, man. Okay, because the scriptures talks about how Israel eats that abominable broth, right? Okay, let's get the book of, I believe it's in the very chapter before. Yep, Isaiah 65:4. Those which remain amongst the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh and broth of abominable things in their vessels. And they say that they're holier than thou. That's Jake, that don't want to hear the word of the prophets. The main thing they argue about is the fact that they can eat what the hell they want to eat. Well, there's a judgment coming with that mindset. Okay? Now, as you keep reading in this chapter, okay, we'll just get to the point. Isaiah 66:24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of those men that have transgressed against me. All right. And it's a dead carcass. The carcass is not literally tormented forever. Okay. And we know what happens when you die. The spirit returns back to the Lord. Okay. And their worm shall not die. All right. Neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring upon all flesh. Now we know Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed, but there's going to be a lot of death worldwide. Okay, as you get the book of Ezekiel, the 39th chapter, talks about how what? Let's see here as we get to the point. We'll use the destruction of the land of Israel as an example, because that land is going to be destroyed as well. All right, Babylon's going to be destroyed and Israel is going to be destroyed, but Israel is going to be rebuilt. Okay. Let's just get to the point, because Gog and Magog is going to be used as well, along with these different nations, to destroy Israel. This is an example. Ezekiel 39:12, and 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying them. Okay. And that they may cleanse the land. So that land is going to have to be cleansed up. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown, the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land, and burying with passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth, to cleanse it. After 7 months shall they search. Okay, so there's going to be a period of 7 months, all right, where they let things settle. Then eventually, all right, people are going to be put to work to get those dead bodies and bury them. Okay, this is what's going to happen. Okay, let's see here. Now, going back here to Isaiah 66, okay, and 24, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall the fire be quenched. Okay, now let's look up this word quenched. Okay, kabah. Okay, to quench, to put out, to be quenched, to be extinguished. Okay, now what we're going to do is go here. We'll go to the Hebrew lexicon. Okay, remember, a lot of these are metaphors, man. Okay, kabah, to be extinguished, to be quenched, to go out, properly spoken of fire, Leviticus 6:5, of a lamp, metaphorically of the anger of the Most High. Okay, the destruction of his enemies. They are quenched like a wick. It says to cover a fire with ashes, not quite, to extinguish. Okay, or to be extinguished. The primary idea is that of covering over, hiding. Okay, so again, we understand that nothing literally burns forever, but the memory of it shall never be quenched. Okay, and we know this because in the kingdom of heaven, even, as we'll show you, these Israelites who were wicked towards the particular leadership and came against the prophets, okay, they're going to bow. Okay, but the beauty is, at least they will be entered into the second covenant. Okay, and at least they will be able to see the kingdom. What these guys are teaching is that they're going to be eternally quenched forever, all right, and ever and ever and ever in fire. Okay, no, the memory of it will never be quenched. Okay, we know that a body can't literally burn forever. Okay, but this is speaking of their judgment, which the judgment takes place on earth. Remember, this is speaking of when the Lord returns. Okay, and we know when the Lord returns, Babylon is going to be destroyed. Okay, 2/3 are going to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great, and across the world. All right, other of the undesires of our people are going to be, burned. All right, whether it be in war or whether fire from the chariot to hit. All right, the particular parts of the earth to get them. All right, and they're going to be judged. Okay, on earth. On earth is the place where judgment takes place. Okay, and these men want you to believe that there's a place underworld, all right, or a place in the heavens where these particular Israelites are going to be tortured forever. Again, we've already showed you even the heathen won't be tortured forever. Even Esau's judgment of paying double has an end. But these men want you to believe that Israelites, okay, who don't marry, their wives are going to burn forever. Israelite men are going to burn forever for not marrying, all right, in the sense of Babylon the Great getting a marriage certificate, marrying their wives. Okay, you come onto the earth and you commit, particular sins, okay, and you'll never be forgiven. Now we know the elect are going to be forgiven first, the first fruits, all right, the 144,000 and 12 at the head of that, then the large multitude, all right. But every Israelite that, comes from that point on, once all of the undesirables are put away, okay, and the rebels are purged out, all Israel will be righteous, man. And every child will be born into the kingdom. Okay. Now, what I wanted to do was look up examples of how this particular word for, all right, quenched, neither shall it be quenched, okay, is used. All right. We're going to go to scriptures in the book of Jeremiah, the 4th chapter, and we'll read a few more. Jeremiah 4:4, circumcise yourselves to Yahweh and take away the foreskins of your mind or your heart. Now, is it literally a foreskin over your heart or over your mind? No. This is symbolic of ultimately renewing your mind, repenting, cutting off the BS that you once believed and becoming a new man. All right, that's what's circumcise the foreskins of your heart or your mind. Okay, that's why Paul said we are of the circumcision which worship Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in sincerity and have no confidence in the flesh. That's the circumcision of the mind, the inward man being renewed. Anyway, circumcise yourselves to Yahweh and take away the foreskins of your heart or your mind, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn, that none can quench it because of your evil doings. Okay. And eventually we know the Babylonians did come. That was the anger and the fury of the Lord. And they burned down, all right, particular parts of Jerusalem. They burned down particular parts of the temple. Okay. The Edomites helped them. We got judged. Jeremiah 7:20. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, mine anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this place, and upon man, and upon beasts, and upon the trees of the field, and upon the fruit of the ground. It shall burn and shall not be quenched. Is Jerusalem still burning unto this day? No. Okay. Jeremiah 17:27. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and hallow the Sabbath day, and not bear the burden, even entering in at the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then I will kindle a fire in the gates thereof, and it shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem, and it shall not be quenched. Okay, it's not going to be quenched, man. Okay, Jeremiah 21:12, O house of David, thus saith the Lord, execute judgment in the morning, and deliver him that is spoiled out of the hand of the oppressor, lest my fury go out like fire, and burn, that none can quench it because of your evil doings. Okay, and there's other scriptures. Amos 5:6, seek the Lord and ye shall live, lest he break out like fire in the house of Joseph, the northern kingdom, and devour it, and there be none to quench it in Bethel. All right, so we see this is just used as a symbolism of judgment. Okay, I mean, let's get the book of Isaiah 5 real quick. Okay, Isaiah the 5th chapter. Isaiah the 5th chapter. And the 13th verse, it says, therefore my people are gone into captivity or exile, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure, and the glory and their multitude and their pomp and he that rejoices shall descend into it. Okay. So did Israel just go into literal hell? Okay, no, they went into captivity. Okay, the Assyrians took down the northern kingdom, and then Judah went under Babylon. And then from there, we went into perpetual and different captivities leading all the way up to today. Okay, therefore, hell have enlarged herself. The Lord put us in a messed up situation. And that word hell, Shah, a wall, all right, it says Sheol, underworld, grave, which it really just means grave. We don't deal with the God of the underworld. Remember, that is Babylonian, Egyptian, Greco-Roman rhetoric. And Israelites are now trying to push this into the gospel, which this has happened before. These are the fables that Jake will be turned to. Okay? Now it says the wicked sent there for punishment without praise of God. All right? Meaning you're in a messed up position on earth. All right? But here's the point. All right? You look here, you can clearly see it says of place of exile. See? Of the place of exile, figuratively. All right? Another allegory. Okay? Figuratively, a place of exile. Okay? And it's likened unto hell. All right? Again, we always tell you heaven and hell are conditions that are going to be played out on earth. Okay? And captivity is hell. Again, when you read Isaiah 5:13 in the NLT, it says, so my people will go into exile far away because they do not know me. All right. And ultimately, that's, the hell that enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. All right. Us being judged. So you can see hell. All right. Is symbolic. Okay. People are taking these concepts and seeing eternal. And what are they doing? They're adding in, okay, fables. Okay, so let's go back to Isaiah 66, okay, and 24. Let's read it again. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses, all right, of the men that have transgressed against me. So a lot of Israelites are going to die in this destruction that's coming when Yahushua returns with fire. All right. Again, in this chapter, what is this talking about? The return of Yahushua. All right. Which we know is synonymous with the destruction of Babylon the Great. All right. War on the planet Earth and the destruction of various regions in the earth. All right. Fire is going to hit various regions. All right. It's just that Babylon is going to be the only place on earth that will not be rebuilt or inhabited. OK, but a lot of chaos and hell is coming to the earth when Yahushua comes back. Okay, you get, Habakkuk describes it in Habakkuk 3, second Esdras, the 13th chapter. It goes into what's going to be happening. War is going to be happening. It's going to be a lot of dead individuals, whether it be via, the dying at war, in war, because a lot of wicked, rebellious Israelites are in Esau's military. And it tells you that the troops are going to die. Okay. Jake eating, ham and pork and telling the prophets, I can do what the hell I want to do. God, Jesus died for me to do what I want to do. You can't judge me. All of those types of niggas are going to be destroyed. All right. But you mean to tell me, all right, your mama, your auntie, all of it, they're going to just burn forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Which if we are the, first fruit spirits, it's not our true, parents, because really, the elect are the fathers of the nation under Yahushua. But you mean to tell me those souls are just going to burn and be tormented? Your great big mama, all of them just going to be burned and tortured forever? Pawpaw, your wicked Uncle Carl, who was cool, but he wasn't right. He's just going to burn forever. No, they're going to be caught up in the judgment if the Lord doesn't have mercy on them. They're going to be caught up in the destruction to come. But again, there's no perpetual torment. Now, in this chapter, Isaiah 66, okay, let's read it again because we'll show you that Yahushua quoted this chapter. Okay, Isaiah 66:24, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and there shall be an abhorring, all right, unto all flesh. Let's read this in the NLT. And as they go out, they will see the dead bodies of those who have rebelled against me. So the people are going to see, are these people walking around in hell? No. Okay, it's going to be dead bodies everywhere. For the worms that devoured them will never die. Okay, and the fire that burns them will never go out. All who pass by will view them with utter horror. Again, symbolism, okay, of the destruction that's going to come. Now, when you get, I believe, Mark, the 9th chapter, Yahushua quotes this, okay? He quotes this. Mark, the 9th chapter. All right, you mean to tell me that a billion years from now, okay, that those dead carcasses are going to be sitting there, still there, with worms in them, burning? No. Okay, again, Jake got to grow the hell up. Okay, and this is, a lot of men have sold out, and this is that Catholic doctrine, because what Constantine did, when you look him up, there was a Jake, and what he did, he was he incorporated the Egyptian, Babylonian gods and goddesses into the scriptures, man. That's really what Christianity comes from. Okay, but when you get Mark 9, and let's see here, this is Mark 9 and 43. And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. All right, is that literal? Okay, meaning if you got something going on that is causing you to offend, you need to cut that off. Okay, it is better for thee to enter into life maimed, all right, than having two hands to go into hell. Okay, and again, what is the word hell he uses here? All right, Gehenna. Okay, Gehenna, which is what symbolism, a fit symbol of the wicked and their future destruction. All right, going back to a place south of Jerusalem where they used to burn trash, dead bodies were burnt, and wicked sacrifices were done. It was a symbol of the judgment to come, man. And it shall into the fire that shall never be quenched. Okay, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. See, Yahushua is quoting what we're reading about in Isaiah, the 66th chapter. Then he mentions it again. If thy foot offend thee, cut it off. All right. So he is using the symbolism that Isaiah, he's basically quoting prophecy, man. And we know this is speaking of the judgment to come with fire, because the Lord tells you, I believe, what's that, Matthew 25. Okay. Matthew, the 25th chapter, around the 40th. Around the 40th verse. All right, because he talks about how he's going to gather the ones on the sheep on the right and the goats to the left. All right, the goats represent the wicked of our people. Okay, as a matter of fact, let's see if we can go up here and find it. Yep. Verse 31, Matthew 25 and 31, the judgment, the final judgment. And what is the final judgment according to the Bible? Okay, fire. Okay, but it's not no damn, it's going to take place on earth, man. The fire is going to come to the earth. All right, it says, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit up on the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them, okay, one from another, as the shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Okay. Then shall the king say unto them on the right hand, come, Okay, blessed, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. The elect were chosen from the foundation of the earth to get the victory, all right? And the wicked of our people were chosen from the foundation of the earth to be destroyed. That is a judgment that is set, okay? They can't escape that judgment. That's why Yahweh Shai told the wicked scribes and Pharisees, how shall ye escape the damnation of hell, Gehenna, fire? Okay, that's gonna a future judgment. Okay, so what is he gonna say to the left? The goats. Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels, which the destruction that's coming to Esau. All right, because Michael and his angels are going to fight against the dragon and his angels. All right, that war that's going to be going on because they're going to try to fight against the second coming of the Lord. Okay, a lot of our people are going to be caught up in the destruction that comes to Babylon the Great. A lot of our people are going to get caught up in that destruction as the elect get beamed up. And then throughout the world, Jakes is going to be getting judged too. Okay. The 2/3 are here in Babylon. Okay. But around the world, you got other Jakes that's going to be getting judged too. All right. So, boom. All right. That judgment that's prepared for the devil, Esau, Edom, and his angels, his military, his artificial intelligence, his technology. Okay, a lot of our people are going to get caught up in that. And we know that even Esau's judgment literally isn't perpetual and forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, even after 1,000 years with them, they're going to be completely obliterated and cut off. You see? But you mean to tell me Jake is going to burn and be tortured forever? No, man. Again, this is all symbolic. And going back to the book of Jude real quick. Okay, let's read it again. Jude, all right, verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah in the cities about them in like manner giving themselves over to fornication, okay, and going after strange flesh, are set forth an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Okay, so the works, all right, that were done in Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, led to fire. You see? Now we know it's not eternal because it's not literally burning anymore. All right, but again, the memory of it, as we showed you, still burns into this day. It's a memorial, just like Babylon the Great will be a perpetual memorial of what happens to niggas who F with Little Seymour. No, those who come up against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. But again, this word eternal, okay?
Strong's G 166, Ionios. Ionios.
Without beginning and end, okay? That which has always been and always will be. All right, from the foundation of the earth, this was set by the Heavenly Father to happen. And in that sense, it could be, it can't be altered, it can't be changed. All right, along with the people who are tied to that destruction, it can't be changed. Okay. And it can also mean without beginning, without end, never to cease. All right, and again, as we showed you, the root word.
Strong's G 165, Ion.
Or aeon, all right? Forever, unbroken age, perpetuity, time, eternity, the world's universe, period of time. Period of time, man. Okay? So again, this word could mean that which has always been, as you can see it highlighted here. All right, that which has always been, and that which will be, all right, meaning it's of divine, all right, existence. It was set from the foundation of the earth. Okay, and in that sense, that judgment can be looked at as eternal. It will not be stopped. All right, the fire, all right, Babylon, those tied to the judgment, all right, that's going to go on in Babylon and across the world. All right, it is that which has been. It's divine. As a matter of fact, an example of this, as the priest Tazama went into, Isaiah, the 33rd chapter, I believe it's the 14th verse. Okay, it says, the sinners of Zion are afraid. All right, fearfulness have surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? All right, who among us shall dwell with the everlasting burnings? All right, let's read this in the NLT. The sinners of Jerusalem shake with fear. Terror seizes the godless. Who can live with this devouring fire? They cry. Who can survive all this consuming fire? All right, but I guess it's going to be, all right, a bunch of them that's going to survive and just live forever and burn with worms coming out of their tongue. And, you know, this is the madness these men are teaching, man. But when you go to this word for everlasting, wait 1 second. This word for everlasting burnings. Give me 1 second while this pops up. Okay, long duration. See, that can be long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever, everlasting, perpetual, old, ancient world, so forth. A future, because it is a future judgment. Okay, now, again, going into the lexicon. See here, give me 1 second. Let's just go to this point here. Boom, C, you see that? Of divine existence. Of divine existence, man. You see that? It's divinely inspired. That judgment, all right, was set from the foundation of the earth. It's divinely inspired. That's what that fire that's coming. It's already written. All right, and in that sense, it can be eternal. All right, or everlasting. But we know, again, that even the wicked Israelites, all right, that do evil won't ultimately have to burn forever, man. And we're going to keep bringing that out. Because again, all right, as we went into the other day, when you go to the book of Revelation, the 3rd chapter, which a lot of people break this down as the so-called Jews, okay, over in the land. But this is really speaking of, okay, again, we just said your brethren that hated you and came against you are going to be ashamed. Now, we know they're going to be burned up and destroyed and they can't escape that. But eventually, they're going to be born back into the earth. Okay? And this is Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet and to know that I have loved thee. Okay? Now, a lot of people, you know, we use this to talk about how, you know, these fake, you know, ish people are going to bow to us. But also the wicked of our people, all right, once the kingdom of heaven is set up and they, you know, eventually come back into the fold, all right, they're going to acknowledge, okay, that we are the leaders. If we are, you know, if, you know, I'm just saying we, because, you know, Lord willing, I'm of that number. But those, whoever the leaders are, okay, once it's all said and done, all right, these men who were saying that they were the circumcision and, you know, coming against the church, eventually they're going to acknowledge the true leadership of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, and if you say this, well, this is actual, you know, small hats, the ish people, well, why ain't they burning forever? Because if anybody was to burn forever, shouldn't they? So they're going to have a chance to bow at our feet, which they are going to bow. All right, but our people are going to be tormented forever. It doesn't make sense. Again, the symbolism and the symbology of the Bible got Jake tripping up. Okay? They're going to acknowledge the true leadership, man. And they're going to loathe themselves. They're going to feel bad. As a matter of fact, going back to Isaiah 66 real quick. See if we can get that back. Isaiah 66. Okay, let's read it again in 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall the fire be quenched. Okay, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. All right, when you look up this word abhorring, all right, da ra a wan, the ron. Da ra awan. All right, aversion, abhorrence. All right, and this is the same word here in Daniel, the 12th chapter and the 2nd verse. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some, all right, to everlasting shame and contempt. That same word. Okay, because their judgment is going to take place here on the earth. And then when they're born back into the fold, okay, once it's all said and done, they're going to be feeling sorry for what they did. They're going to loathe themselves. Okay, but that's all right. All right. It's just how the Lord has it set up. Again, as it says in the book of Romans, the 11th chapter, okay, they're going to get mercy through the elect getting mercy. See, so some shall awake. You know, we were born into the earth to go out and prophesy and do the work and be in sincerity and truth. But some, you know, a lot of, like I always say, a lot of Israelites were born. Okay, a lot of people who saying, you know, Yahweh Bashmi Ashah, know that they're Israelites and, you know, they're here scoffing and being demons. Well, they were, all right, awakened for a lot of destruction, and they're not going to escape it. That's why the spirit is on them to be wicked and to do the things that they're doing, because they're tied to a lot that the Lord requires a judgment for, man. All right, so that everlasting contempt is synonymous with the judgment of the wicked of our people. Again, they're a natural brute beast. Let's look this up. Okay, 2 Peter 2:12, but these as natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed. Okay, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption. Okay, they were, let's read this in the NLT. These false teachers are like unthinking animals, creatures of instinct. And you see that happening now. You got Jake rebelling and just saying anything out of their mouth. All right, the two maniacs said that I am is how you say Yahweh is basically I am, which Yahweh is he is. I am is a haya shah haya. I am that I am. Again, just completely these teachers, all right, there's Satan underground in a bottomless pit. Okay, the eternal damnation. We ain't gonna see Ariah in the kingdom. After 1,000 years, the Yahweh Shah is gonna die. We're not gonna live forever. The earth is gonna be overpopulated if we live forever. These are small thinking individuals who try to present themselves as deep. Okay? These false teachers are like unthinking animals, creatures of instinct, born to be caught and destroyed. See, they were born to be caught and destroyed. And the destruction is going to happen, okay, as Yahweh Shai told them, you're not going to escape it. The damnation of Gehenna fire, which we know that's coming in the end times, man. You know? So that's pretty much it. You know, like we, showed you in the curses, it said these curses will be a sign and a wonder forever. You know, that's for a set time. But again, it was divinely inspired. There was no way to get around it. Okay? There's no way. It's coming. It's here. It's set. Okay? that which is and shall be. So, it's a lot more we can go into, and we'll continue to edify on these topics. But Lord willing, y'all are edified. On to the next. Shalom.